All right, today we're going to be using Daz Studio to help create a consistent character with a few poses in Stable Diffusion. And the way we're going to do this is, first of all, I already created a character basically in Midjourney. We'll see, I'll find this real quick. Okay, so I went in and basically looked for, a cute girl with kind of interesting facial features and bald-ish, I guess. And then we're going to use this for a face structure in Daz Studio, which is going to go a long way to helping make the character more consistent once we take her over to Stable Diffusion. So if you've never did FaceTransfer in Daz Studio, basically I have mine over on this side here, FaceTransfer, browse, find out where the image is, and generate. All right, now for the sake of consistency and to make this tutorial kind of fairly easy, we're going to keep just the basic clothes on her. We're not going to really worry about that. One thing I am going to do is, and I purchased, I think it was $15, but there's a FaceTransfer shapes. And I'll show you here real quick. If you look at this, look at how flat her nose is. There's just really not much definition there. So what we're going to do is under FaceTransfer shapes, 100%. And if you notice, I immediately added more definition. The next thing we're going to do, because we want pretty much all of the, let's see here. We pretty much want all of the textures to come from Stable Diffusion. So we're just going to use base map. And if we look at this texture, you can see that there's very little texture to her face. And then if you go to smooth shaded, you can see that we're getting a lot of detail as far as the facial structure in this, which is exactly what we want from this. We're going to get rid of eyelashes. Actually, you know what? We're going to hide eyelashes because we may need some reference images later on that actually have those. I'm not sure that we'll need them, but it's possible. So we'll just keep those on her. And yeah, so there we have our face structure that we're going to use to add to the prompts in Stable Diffusion, and we're going to get a consistent character. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find like 3 poses. Let's go. I don't think it really matters what the poses are. It's more about just trying to get some consistency. One thing I have noticed is that you really want to be careful of the face, making sure that it's not too far. Let's do this. Make sure that it's not too far to the left or the right. It feels like it doesn't really capture the way that it should when it is too far to the left and the right. So if we got like this, it feels like when we try to get this in Stable Diffusion, they try to throw an eye over here, and it gets kind of weird. So we'll just kind of do like this as one. And we'll go, let's see here. That's kind of nice. And then let's find something a little fun. This, we will take her, later, that, where we get what we want on these. Okay, so left, kind of off to the side, and this is kind of a, let's one maybe. Oh yeah, we need to create a camera because we want to be able to have that set up the way we want it. So here. There. Kind of center frame. This one. We got those 3 images. So let's see. We need 2, 3 frames. So let's go ahead and we're going to keep it at 512 by 512. I'm going to switch to viewport render. Just render image series. And we're going to keep it in the same folder here. And let's see. This should take just a second. And we'll just call these poses. Oops. Okay, it already did this. So we have these, and the important things are that we have a face structure. You know what? We're going to redo this. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more pixelated than I wanted. So I'm going to try this. All right, that should work out a little bit better. All right, and here in just a second, we'll get into Stable Diffusion, bring her over, and then we're going to keep Daz open because we may need a little bit more. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to give her some hair. Okay, and then one thing I need to do with this is we need to go into surfaces. We need to go to the cap and geometry. Put opacity all the way down because we want this hair structure to end up in the renders. All right. So we want the hair structure because this is going to really help with in Stable Diffusion. Going to help pose the hair that we're going to have in Stable Diffusion. So let's go in here. Let's render that again. All right. All right, I'm loading into Stable Diffusion right now. I use Think Diffusion because my GPU just doesn't cut it. First thing we want to do is we want to get a good seed. So we'll DPM plus 2M keras. We'll go about 30 sample sets. Restore faces. And then we're going to start. I think we're just going to use one Controlnet. Let's see, enable pixel perfect, and we're going to use probably LineArt and realistic. Let's go ahead and drag our first pose in here. Let's see what it gives us. So if we look at this, it's got the hair nicely drawn out. It's got the body shape. And most importantly, this is what it really, I think, sells and makes it so that it's the same character as you see the nose structure. That's going to be really important. So what we're going to do is, let's see here, default negative. All right. And for this, W, we'll put that in there. Okay, now one thing I want to say is that my workflow that I usually do on this is a little bit different because this is YouTube. But what I usually do is I will do these ones without hair or clothing. And then I will do a canvas. So if we go back into here, advanced video array canvases, and we go beauty. And then if we go into these things here, hit accept on those. And then make sure it's like that. So I believe, let's see, let's still image. So basically, when I do this, I'll be able to take whatever image is created in here, and I'll be able to overlay the clothing on top of her. And what this does is it allows for consistent clothing. So basically, what I'm doing in Stable Diffusion is I'm worrying mostly about the textures and just kind of modifying the face a little bit. But clothing wise and hair wise, if you're trying to make a consistent character, you're better off having something like the canvas, using the canvas like that and just rendering the outfit and the hair in Daz Studio. I would really suggest that. All right, so what we're going to do is, to get consistency, we're going to, let's do Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And then let's do Ariel. Let's see what kind of results that gives us. And let's go 20 frames or 20 iterations with Belle, and then last 10 with Ariel. Let's do batch count of 4, and let's kind of see what it gives us. 9. I definitely don't like that. Let's see. Photo. Realistic. Image of masterpiece. Generate this. So one thing we might want to do is we might add a second Controlnet. Let's try this. What if we just do just Belle and Ariel? See if it. These are fairly vastly different. All right, I didn't want to use celebrity names, but we're going to do this just to make this easier. We're going to go there, and then let's do Kidman. All right, let's see if we can get some consistency here. I like this one right here. So we're going to use this one. So we're going to come down here. I'm going to grab the seed, copy that, and go into here and paste. And we're going to switch up. We're going to go and get our second pose. And we're going to generate that one. Of course, we're using the seed, and then we're also using the same exact prompts up here. Now, this is where you're going to see where the biggest problem with doing it this way is that versus just doing a stripped down version of the character and then adding the clothes later, is that it's not going to keep the hair very consistent. In fact, if you look at it, added some weird stuff here. But let's look in our... All right, so let's look at this. So the one that we, which one was the one? So we just did 4, so it was, but this one? Okay, this is the one that we used as our seed. And let's see here. If you look at the face structure, pretty much the same character. Now let's try this though, but let's do yellow tank top. Wait a second. Nope. My bad. Yeah, no, yellow tank top. And let's see. Ponytail. Let's see what that does. Let's see here. It's looking pretty good. It's got the yellow tank top cut out with the abs. In fact, let's yellow tank top cut out showing owned abs. Oh shoot, yeah, we don't want them that toned. All right, we'll try flat stomach. The other thing you'll notice is that when you're using this line art, it's getting some pretty good fingers on there. Not great, not the greatest or whatever. One thing I've noticed is that if you have them curve away from the camera, that's where it starts having some problems. So you're better off maybe having, her hands grasping, but maybe you can see her entire fingers. It would come out even better on that. We got there. Either of those are pretty good. I would say I feel pretty good saying that's the same character. Okay, and let's do the last one here. Let's get into here. One should be interesting, because it'll be interesting to see how our face ends up turning out on this. This last one, we may have to do a high-res fix. I'm not going to do in-painting for this tutorial, but obviously that's one way that we could fix it for sure. Just not something I'm looking to do right now. There were some jean shorts. I think that's fine. Actually, given our background, if you notice, these ones were kind of more of a... Oh, okay. They pretty much, a few of them turned out like that. Where it's just more up against some kind of mural or something like that. That's not horrible. Just a little bit of a problem with that. See how that fit? The problem is we're finger doing some weird stuff. Yeah, it's not horrible. We could fix that if we wanted to by, I think, maybe if we moved her hand just a little bit so that her thumb was coming off of her thigh, that would make things a little bit better there. But I think we're still okay there. Okay, so we're gonna do a high-res fix. Sharp. I'm gonna try to introduce a little more detail in her face and see if that kind of makes it look just a little bit more consistent. And if you look at the nose, the thing is, it's taking, we look at the model, look at the model's nose there. And it's taking some of the shape, but it's not exactly the same. It's taking, some of the directions from the prompts and changing the shape just a little bit. But so basically it's getting help from the Daz 3D model that we've got the shape from using FaceTransfer, and then combining that with the prompts, and I think that's what really kind of helps it get more consistent faces. But anyways, we're gonna time travel here real quick, and then I'll show you the final results that we have. All right, so we're back, and these are the images, the final images that I decided on. Mostly the same character. Once again, actually, this is really nice. If you notice, the hair is perfect on that. Just notice that. I wonder, that is kind of crazy that it got the hair perfectly right there. That one doesn't look nearly as good, but so we're going to take those three, and last thing I'm going to do, let's take these, let's create a new folder. We'll call this the girl. I'm going to drop these three in it. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open up flow frames. This is one of my favorite tools. Interpolation, browse folder. And we're going to put like 5 times 10, 4 times slower, interpolate. I'm going to see, I don't know if this might look really, really bad. I'm honestly not even sure if it's going to do this, since that last one is so different. Oh yeah, that. All right. You're still with me. I'm going to try one more thing here real quick. Of course you can. Of course, you could stop watching the video now, or you can kind of see what I'm trying to do here. Completely up to you. Let's see. We're going to call this and we're going to go 1_2. And we're going to have frame 1 and frame 2 in there, which I think we can interpolate between those two. I think trying to interpolate between the three was pretty tough because the composition on the third one was so much different. Let's go 2 times 10, and let's do, let's see, 4 times slow-mo. Yeah, there was no real way to interpolate between those two poses, was there? Anyways, so this is what we have in the end. We have 3 images, the same person, 3 different poses, and pretty consistent on the we got pretty consistent on the clothing. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am very happy with how the clothes turned out on that. We could have gotten the hair just a little bit better. Oh shoot, did I open that one twice? I'm a dumbass. Let's see here. Okay. I said 3 poses, same person for the most part. Hair's pretty close to the same. We can notice though, like this is this is one thing. I think if we were to redo this a little bit and try to redo this pose and then try to get rid of the flowers, we could have turned this out almost perfect. But anyways, that's how we do it. That's one of the ways of getting consistent characters and consistent poses. You can do a lot more. If we bring in a, for instance, we render a maybe a textured image, we can probably get some more data on that. We could bring it in. We could go in here and we could do a depth pass. We can render that out, and that could give us even more data for Controlnet to be able to use. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and you know, what next tutorial should I do? I think what I'm going to do is some kind of animation tutorial, being able to animate a character using Controlnet and with Daz Studio characters. That turns out really, really cool. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. But anyways, everybody have a great day.